What's up, YouTube family? I'm back with step 5. So as you can see, I was able to find my microphone, right? So I hope we cooking with grease, man. Look, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you guys rocking with me and checking me out. Let's dive into this, okay? Now, if this is your first video, obviously I strongly recommend you go back and watch the other videos and follow from step 1 so you can get this game, man, so you can get on point, get to the bag, and take this to the next level. All right. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna be talking about step 5, and now we're diving into finding opportunities. So in the previous step 1, we talked about what a SDR is, what the job entails, what the opportunities, lie. We also talked about in step 2 the essential skills. So I talked about how can I put this? Or orthodox, non-orthodox, unorthodox way of building up the skills. Yeah, I had to think for a second. A different way to build up the skills, right? An orthodox way with essential skills, and that is Toastmasters, improv acting, volunteering, and speaking up in your current role, and presenting to your team and helping out the manager. And it's kind of like expanding your communication skills. Step 3, we talked about building relevant knowledge. What do I mean by that? Well, Salesforce. All right, we talked about Salesforce. We talked about Sales Loft, some of the tools that are used on a day-to-day basis in the SDR role. And then step 4, we talked about how to build your resume, where to find the ATS resumes. What is ATS? Okay, which obviously a recap of ATS. Essentially, it's an AI model that reads through all of the resumes based off of keywords and keyword phrases. They put you into two piles. The one pile, automatic rejection. The second pile is maybe this person has some potential. And then the recruiter looks through those piles and go through the first step, which is the phone interview. So today, we're going to be talking about how and where to find the opportunities. Where to find the opportunities. Okay. Now, with that being said, by far the number one spot to find the opportunities is going to be LinkedIn. All right. You heard it before. Maybe you heard someone say LinkedIn is by far the number one tool for business people, for people who want to be professional, for career minded individuals. LinkedIn is the place to be. Now, with that being said, there's different tiers to LinkedIn. Let me explain. You have some people who are content creators on LinkedIn. They release videos, how to's, and then they kind of funnel that into maybe a coaching business, maybe some course that they're selling or something like that, or maybe, consulting business to find clients. That's one tier. You have another person who strictly uses it for what it was intended to, which is a business, social media platform for business minded people. Okay. They don't necessarily post, but they're able to cultivate relationships, network effectively, and reach out to people who can help them further their careers. And then you have another tier to where there's kind of like a mix. And I'll say I sort of fall in this to where I'm creating content like this video you're watching right now, but it's not my primary thing. I'm not funneling into any offers or any coaching, business, any consulting. Rather, I'm just sharing my experiences, some of my knowledge in hopes that it can help you level up. And in return, it allows me to position myself as an expert, position myself as someone who is knowledgeable in the field, and it brings me opportunities too. So you don't have to be a content creator per se. You don't have to be a fly on the wall, right? In LinkedIn purposes or referring to LinkedIn. You can kind of fall somewhere in the middle. Whatever works for you, I just want you to do what works for you. Okay. So keep that in mind as you're going through these videos, as you're learning from me, as you're learning from my experiences. Just take what you can, you know, chew the meat, spit out the bones, take what you can apply to your life. Now, with that being said, let's get into it. Finding opportunities. First thing we're going to touch on is where to look. I touched on one place already, LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is not the only place, but I'm gonna show you why and how I use LinkedIn to level up. And also outside of LinkedIn, Indeed.com is a good one. Glassdoor is a good one as well. And another one that people sleep on, Levels FYI. Now I know SDR is not necessarily like engineering. You have a lot of engineers, product managers, cybersecurity professionals on Levels FYI, but Levels FYI is kind of like a, I don't know if it was in, founded first before Glassdoor, but think Glassdoor, think of a place to where people go and you give feedback on your current role, whether or not you like the company or not, how much you're making. And it's kind of like a glass bowl. It allows us to share information with each other to make the best decision when it comes down to, interviewing. Because keep in mind, guys, you're not just interviewing for a position for you, you're interviewing the company too. So they're actually, right, interviewing to be chose by you. It's not just one way. And let me make sure here that we have this set up properly. I just want to make sure that we roll it. All right, perfect. We're rolling. So with that being said, where to look? I'm gonna hop first on LinkedIn, show you some of the roles. I pulled up 3 for us to review because I want us to look at the job descriptions together, and I'm gonna show you what I think and where my mindset is when I see certain job descriptions. You're gonna see certain jobs. It's gonna say 5 years experience, 2 years of leadership, 5 degrees. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. Like you see these job descriptions and they so extravagant, it discourages you from applying. I've been there before. I'm pretty sure you've been there before. If you haven't, you know someone who's been there before. And what my goal is for us to get rid of that and to get to the point to where we're not afraid of any job descriptions, right? Because we can read through it and we can really read what they're saying. Because you got to look at keywords. Sometimes they say, hey, someone who has had exposure to this, someone who has experience with this, someone who has a basic understanding of this. You don't have to always be an expert, all right? And I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, okay? So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to pull this up. As I'm doing that, I hope y'all doing fantastic out there tonight, man. And I hope y'all are ready to take it to the next level. So where are we right here? Boom. Step 5, finding opportunities. This is where we at right here. All right. Boom. Now we on LinkedIn. All I did was I typed in sales development representative up here. Here's a couple of my previous other searches too. Sales development representative. And it pulled up 2,816 opportunities right now. Now I'm in Atlanta, but I typed in the United States because most of these positions are remote, which I'm sure you want a remote position. I'm gonna show you where to find them. I'm gonna show you how to get them. All right. Now, as I scroll down this list, I'm looking at Oracle outbound sales representative in Austin, Texas. But look, it says remote. The pay, $22 an hour to $34 an hour. Okay. That's the difference between this is about 45,000 and this is about, I say 70, about 70K. Okay. Duo security. Here's one too. Here. They pay anywhere from 83 to 115. Sales representative 2 full time. Okay. Here's one at Figma. This is a good company. Inbound sales development representative, early career, Figma, New York. Now on site. Now when they say on site, sometimes, like, let me show you. Sometimes, guys, it'll say hybrid, right? Now, the very first thing that comes to mind, what I notice is early career. So that means that's an entry level position. Okay. Desire to build a sales, a career in sales, entry level. Okay. Ultimately working towards business development representative and account representative roles. Business development representative. So let me break it down for you. Inbound. So inbound development representative is, I like to think of it as level 1. Outbound or business development representative will be level 2. So inbound is when you get leads sent to you. Outbound is when you're actively going out there and you're hunting for these opportunities. Okay. Account executive is level 3. That's when you're actually seeing the opportunity through its entirety, through the whole sales process. So you're not just taking inbound leads and setting appointments. You're not just making outbound calls and emails to set appointments. You're actually the account executive and you're seeing the opportunity all the way through. I have friends who are all 3. I'm an inbound representative right now. I have friends who were outbound representative. I know people who are outbound right now, and I know people who recently got promoted as an account executive too. So I can give you insights on all 3. When I see something like this, this lets me know this is definitely an apply right here. I would apply. Even if I'm not in the New York area, I would definitely apply 100%. Okay. Siemens. Siemens is a fantastic company. Sales development representative start January, February. Okay. North Carolina hybrid, right? Boom. You pull this up. Let's look through this. Generate and qualify new sales opportunities through outbound call campaigns. So outbound, remember I said inbound level 1, outbound level 2, account executive level 3. This is a level 2 position right here, which is why the pay is kind of wonky. It says 15,000 to 45,000 a year. I doubt that that is the amount. As a matter of fact, okay, Siemens sales representative salary. Let's take a look at this. Okay. All right. The average sales representative at Siemens is around 56,000, but it also says 53,000 for the 25 percentile and 136,000 for top earners. What that means is, what that tells me is that these are probably base pays. That's what that tells me. If I had to take a guess, this is probably base pay, and then you have, certain numbers that you have to hit in order to get the commission. That's what that tells me. Okay. I'm open to the possibility of being wrong, but that's what I see when I read that. Now, I pulled up a couple positions in order for us to check this out. I pulled up a position with Plaid. All right. Now, matter of fact, let me go. I want to go back. Well, no. This is good. This is good. We can take a look at this. So here's the application. You can apply with LinkedIn, when I apply for these positions, I don't like to attach my LinkedIn profile because I want it to be a full application. So I'll go through, attach my resume. It's probably going to parse out and automatically fill out some of these fields because it has an option for you to put your LinkedIn URL right here. So I don't have to apply through LinkedIn. I can just put the URL here. Remember what I said in the last video, right? And I said it at the first beginning of this video too. See this? They want your Twitter URL. They're asking for your portfolio. They're asking for your other website. This can be your personal website. Exactly what I said. They're trying to get a sense of who you are, and they want to see your digital footprint and your digital presence. Okay. Now, let me pull this up a little bit because I want to show you something. Now, look at this. Are you able to go into the office in San Francisco or in New York 3 days a week? This is a great opportunity in order for you to relocate. Well, why do I say that? Because, right? Sometimes, guys, you can't always stay in the same, comfortable position you're in right now. Maybe you're living in your hometown, maybe chilling around your friends, stuff and all that. Sometimes, in order to level up, you may have to go to a place and move away. I did that before I moved to Arizona for about 6 months to level up. You may have to do that. So keep that in mind, be open to that. All right. Okay, bam. This is what I want to show you. So Gong is a CRM company, customer relationship management software. And I want to read their responsibilities right here. Let me blow this up a little bit just so you can see. Okay. Now, automatically, first thing I see, responsibility, raise awareness, generate interest for Gong through cold calling, emails, social media outreach to prospective customers. What do they mean by that? Well, obviously cold calling, contacting business owners, sending emails, but social media outreach, they're talking about using your LinkedIn to contact prospects. That's why they want your Twitter, your Instagram to see what type of things you have on there, because you're going to be a representative of them, and your representation is, excuse me, whether or not you want to believe it or not, when you work for a certain company, you are a representation of them. So when you go out, when you're traveling, all those type of things, and you wear your gear, you wear your company shirt, especially when you create videos like this and you mention a company or something like that. That's why I try my best to leave my company and my content separate, because first off, when I make videos and I make content, it is my opinion and my views alone. It has nothing to do with whoever my employer is at the time. All right. And I don't want those two things to get mixed up. So I really try my best to keep those things separated. And that's why I do that, because I know that everything that I do, even in my personal life, is going to have an effect on the bag. I'm not I don't want to mess up the bag. I didn't work this hard. I did not do the things I did in order to get to this level, in order, just to mess it up and drop the ball. No, I'm not going to do that. So, with that being said, meet or exceed daily activity minimums of 100 to activities a day. Activities 100 to 80 a day. That's a combination between calls, emails, maybe some LinkedIn messages, things like that. All right. Schedule initial discovery calls for account executives. This is all I do every day. And when I'm doing this, I'm actually learning how to become an account executive. But this is the job, guys. This is it. Provide constructive feedback on how to improve the effectiveness and efficiency within the SDR role to your managers. So what they're saying is, if something doesn't work, tell them. Let them know about it so you can fix it and you can be the best version of yourself. Collaborate with teammates. I talk a lot about being a lubricator, not an agitator, learning how to work well with other people. All of these things are going to pay dividends as you continue to move along in your career. Okay. Last thing I want to look at here, you have a high degree of resilience, enabling you to bounce back from setbacks. What are they talking about? When you're reaching out to these people and they're telling you no, and you have rejection, and maybe you're not tracking to hit your quota, and maybe you're not going to get the bonus you want to hit, they want to know, how do you handle adversity? How do you handle hard times, setbacks, obstacles, right? This has developed me into a motherfucking animal. That's how I handle it, because I don't take no for an answer. I don't take no for an answer. And I continue to push. I continue to hustle harder and harder. And that has led me in good stead throughout my career. And it has put me in position to really, really, really level up. All right. So that's how you break down these job descriptions. If you notice, guys, not a lot about, tons of years of experience. I'm looking here. OTE, target earnings for this position is 90,000. That is pretty awesome, guys. 90,000. That means 9 times out of 10, you'll probably have a split between maybe 70% base pay, 30% bonus, meaning you hit your numbers. So 70% of 90K will be on your checker, every 2 weeks. And then the other, let's say 70,000 will be on your check, and the other 20,000 will be in commission. I think these are really good numbers. These are really good numbers. So I think that this is a great opportunity right here. All right. And the last one I want to look at here is Accenture. So Accenture is like a consulting firm. They have a ton of divisions, cybersecurity, all type of divisions. And they even have a engineering and a project division as well. As you can see, this project manager position here on the side. But what I want to do is I want to kind of look at the description a little bit. Okay. Now, very first thing, engage with customers in a consultative approach to foster relationships. What did I just say? Accenture is a consulting based firm. I just said that. Okay. Endless curiosity in cloud and digital product markets. Curiosity means that you don't mind going out and learning new things. That's what they mean by that, guys. Okay. Now, BANT. This is something that you should have learned in the essential skills, right? and building the relevant skills. BANT is budget, authority, need, timeline. All that means is you're asking questions throughout the discovery call to determine these things right here. The more information you have to pass over to your account executive, the better those opportunities could potentially be, and ultimately leading to you hitting your quota. Let's go to qualifications. Boom, here we go. All right. So, minimum 6 months experience in sales. Now, when you see that minimum 6 months experience, you can say if you're in a customer service type position, if you're working in another, maybe car sales, maybe real estate, something like that. They're just talking about, do you have 6 months experience in sales, period? And many of you, if you don't have the sales, you have something that you can refer back to, okay? It says bachelor's degree, 6 to 9 months of calling experience. Now, one thing I want to point out, and I want to let you guys go, okay? Basic qualifications, minimum 6 months, minimum 6 months experience in sales. Preferred qualifications, 6 to 9 months of calling experience, bachelor's degree, previous experience using Salesforce. What did I tell you in the relevant skills? We were talking about Salesforce and learning Salesforce. If you go through a Salesforce training and you use it, guys, that's experience. That's experience. Okay. The bachelor's degree. So this is how I look at it. Basic qualifications is must have. You have to have these qualifications. Preferred qualifications. Let me pull myself up for a second. Okay. Because I want to be very clear with this. Basic qualifications is must have. Bare minimum, they really want you to have those criteria. Now, preferred qualifications is a nice to have. In the recruiter and the manager dream world, they would love for you to have a bachelor's degree, 6 to 9 months experience, and experience in Salesforce. The way that I see it, if you can check off 1 to 2 to 3 of those things on a long list in job descriptions, you should apply for it. Period. Hard stop. If you can check off 1 to 2, maybe 3 things in a job description, you should apply for it. Why is that? Well, remember, most people don't understand the ATS resume template that we talked about in the last video. So that means that most resumes are not even going to reach the recruiter in the first place. Okay. So that eliminates maybe 60 to 70% of all people who apply for those positions. The second thing is, if it's you and the other person, let's say if it's me and you going through an interview process, and we have similar experience, we have similar backgrounds, maybe we did some of the same trainings, then the only thing that differentiates us is our personality and what? Our ability to be a lubricator and work well with other people. That's it. It's pretty simple. That's it. Whether or not the recruiters like you, if they think the managers are like you, and when you talk to the managers, whether or not the manager can see you fitting on their team. That's all it is, guys. Nothing more, nothing less. So this has been step 5, right? Finding opportunities. We talked about where to look, job descriptions, and I don't want this video to go too long. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put networking techniques into the next video, right? I'm going to put that into step 6. I'm going to put, matter of fact, I can make that change right now. I'm going to make a change on my note right here because yeah, that's perfectly fine, because in step 6, we're going to be talking about the interview process and how to ace the interview. So I'm going to add networking techniques. I'm going to add that to step 6. All right. I hope that you found this valuable. I hope that you're ready to level up. I have gave you guys so far 5 steps that I hope that you have taken advantage of, guys. Trust me, people pay money for this information, and I'm giving it to you because I want to see you win. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, turn on the notification bell, and share with a friend. I love you. I appreciate you. I see you in step 6, man. Peace.